England slumped to their first defeat under Thomas Tuchel as Senegal won the friendly 3-1 at the City ground. The Three Lions were second best in impressive opposition and became the first African team to beat England's men. Tuchel spoke to talkSPORT after the match about the recent camp.
Yeah, we're still lacking the same energy and the same, how did you call it? Yeah, liveliness that we show in training on the pitch. Unfortunately, I feel I'm happy with the investment of the players and how they act and how they prepare themselves for matches is absolutely top. Still, to translate it on the pitch is difficult for us at the moment. I see I see the joy, the pure joy of the Senegal players after goals, after the celebration. I hear the celebration in the dressing room, and I ask myself, would we celebrate in the same manner if we would have won 3-1, or would it be more like, okay, we're happy, yeah, we did well, we can do better, but we expect it from us. But and there is a little bit I have almost a feeling, and I include myself, that our expectation towards ourselves hold us back a little bit to play more lively, more exciting, and a little bit more with more courage, because we did exactly in the moment when we were 2-1 down, which shows me that this is the case. And but still, it is a big learning. It was a tough learning. It gets now more competitive in September, October, November by nature, and we will be ready.
Watched the full second half. Missed the first half. Yes. I was travelling down. Saw the highlights, but I watched the full second half. I just thought, tell me what you think looking at it, Gab. I actually thought they looked just sharper. I wouldn't say hungrier, that's maybe a little bit unfair, but it looked about it a little bit more. They looked livelier, didn't they?
Oh, 100%. You can tell that they wanted to win the game more than our players. Our players were on the beach, which they shouldn't have been. I get it, it's a long season, but look at the Portugal players, look at the French and German and Spanish players. They've had long seasons as well. We've got to stop using that as an excuse. I thought we were very poor. I wasn't sure about the team. I look at...
What did you think about the team?
I just don't get it. I feel like, listen, Chalobah done well for Crystal Palace. Chelsea let him go to Crystal Palace. They called him back. He's a decent centre-half, but that was his debut. I don't think he's England level. I just feel that choose your defence now. Is it going to be Konsa as your main centre-half on that right-hand side? Are you going to stick with Colwell? Is it going to be Lewis Skelly at left-back? Who's going to be your right-back? Cole Walker's going to be 36 when the World Cup starts. He had a terrible game last night. He's not as quick as he used to be. He used to get out of jail with his pace. He got found out again last night. Last season, didn't work at AC Milan. Wasn't great at Manchester City. Choose your right-back. Is it going to be Livramento when he's available? Is it going to be Reece James? Is it going to be Trent? We haven't got a lot of games. We've got 5 qualifiers left, and then maybe 2 warm-up games. That's not a lot of time before the World Cup.
Surely John Stones has got to come in somewhere, if he's fit, obviously.
Oh, of course.
He's got to come in.
Of course. I think Harry Maguire had a very good season, especially to the end of the season. Why is he not being called up?
I don't disagree with you, mate. I really don't disagree with you.
But as well, Ali, I look at the midfield and I'm like, listen, Conor Gallagher, he's done them decent at times at Atletico Madrid, but he should be a player that you bring on for the last 10 minutes in a tournament where he can get the ball and run up and down the pitch with it. He can get a tackle in, get a bit of fight in.
I thought they just looked better. They looked more solid. They looked quicker on the counter. They looked, as I said, livelier. I mean, England created 1 or 2 chances second half. Gibbs White left foot shot. Saka round the corner. Keeper makes a good save. I mean, the goal should have stood, but that's neither here nor there because the better team won the game. The goal should have stood. I thought the referee was.
But can we make a decision? Who's going to be our number 6? Adam Wharton sitting there. You look at Spain, you look at Germany, France, you look at Portugal. Yeah. Let's get Adam Wharton in the England squad as our number 6. Declan Rice has played his best football for Arsenal further forward as an 8. You can have Wharton sitting alley. You can have Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham as 2 8s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bellingham likes playing further forward. Declan Rice is at his best when he's further forward. Wharton getting on the ball in tight positions, making England start. Henderson should be nowhere near the England squad. Conor Gallagher shouldn't be starting. And you've wasted a friendly against a decent side with your team. Just didn't make sense.
Well, one man that kept his goal scoring record going again was Harry Kane. Not unsurprisingly, because he's been different class. And he got him off to a perfect start with a goal which proved to be pointless, sadly, in the end. The Three Lions captain spoke after the match about what exactly is needed to improve.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it goes back to what I was saying about playing, playing better with the ball. I feel like we have, amazing players who, just maybe need to feel a bit more confident in an England shirt. Some players who haven't played a lot at this level. International, I always say, football is completely different to club football. Different atmosphere, different environment, playing against totally different teams. And sometimes it's maybe a confidence thing of just, believing in yourself a little bit more. And that comes, it's a new era. There's a lot of change in the squad, compared to, especially over the last couple of years. And we have to try and build that team environment again. Nights like this, nights like tonight sometimes help that. It sounds silly, but it brings you together. It makes you feel like it's us against everyone else, and because that's the case. And anyone who plays against England, it's a big final for them. It's a friendly game, but the way they celebrated was like a final. So we have to understand that, and I think it's good for some of the guys who haven't experienced this level to understand that, and it might help going forward.
No, not for the first time. Harry's goal is probably about the only plus there the last couple of games. England fans, I want to hear from you this morning. Are you worried about the performance last night, or just overall you're not convinced yet? What can be done to breathe life into the way England play? Are you worried about the World Cup next year? I maybe would be, 03717 223344.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.